Alright, so boom. Today we're gonna recap episode 4 of the Real Housewives of F1, or Carlos Sainz, as they call it on the episode. So this is Carlos Sainz. I had to give y'all a picture because this episode was so damn boring. I was like, y'all need something to look at while I talk about this because it was boring. The whole episode was just about Carlos and like his decision. So he's the one that's leaving Ferrari for Lewis. I don't know if it was for or just like they were like, hey, we're gonna keep Charles. Carlos is gonna be the one that has to go. Is that the right decision? Who knows? We'll probably see in the future. But for right now, that's what they did. Yeah, it was boring. Like it was so they kind of talked about because he was taking so long to find a team. Like other teams were waiting because they were trying to bid their way to get him. And a lot of other drivers were also like having to renew their contracts, so they were waiting for him to sign, so like everyone else would be like placed in whatever bucket. It was a whole mess, but like it was boring, guys. It was just like back and forth. It was everybody talking about what team would be better for him, who was gonna be good, all this stuff. And I could bore y'all with like the actual in-depth car knowledge, but this is Netflix. We're just trying to get to the drama and that's it. And there was really not much drama. The only drama is one, James Vows being a little freak nasty. He's like, oh, how do you sign somebody? You first start texting them and then you take them out to a dinner and then they just end up in your hotel room. And I said, sir, what? I was like, that's how you sign drivers? Like, what? Anywho, but that's literally what happened. Like they was James Vows is the owner of Williams, which is like basically a mid tier to like low tier team. And so all the big teams are kind of like locked up. Like Ferrari already had people. We just in episode 3 realized that Toto closed down the deal for Mercedes. Red Bull has so many damn drivers to choose from, and that's in the later episode that Red Bull was not really going to be an option for him. So all the top teams, and then McLaren, like their two drivers are like in contract. All of those top team options gone. So he has to kind of look at the midfield, lower tier teams. So all of this, vying who's going to be the one he goes to. He's so not confused, but he's like just hearing everybody out, trying to see who's going to have the best bid, whatever. So he gets in close talks with Williams, with James Vows. They have everything set up, and Carlos stands them up. Of course, a man that looks like this would stand somebody up. Like, duh. He looks like a whore. But he stood him up. Like, they ended up not going to the signing. Like, they had champagne waiting for him and everything. I was like, yo, this is embarrassing. Like, what? So then James calls him the next day and he's like, what can I do? Like, what's going on in his mind? Like, why is there the holdup? What happened? Like, I thought we were good to go. And then his manager was like, oh, yeah, he just has some more thinking to do, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, oh, whatchamacallit, Flavio called him. And in my mind, I'm like, who the hell is Flavio? Like, I'm a new F1 fan, so I was like, who the hell is this Flavio dude? Flavio is basically some, like, older Italian dude that, like, was a big name in F1 back in the day. However, and this was, like, the most exciting part of the entire episode. They talk about, like, what happened to Flavio for, like, 2 minutes. Basically, he was like the head of one team. I don't know the name of the team, honestly. I didn't do my due diligence and research. I should have. But essentially, he was like the head of the team during a crash gate. So they said that Alonso, who's like a world champion, that he was like the number one driver on this team. And Flavio told the other driver, hey, crash at this time so that Alonso could get like a free pit stop and then win the race or whatever. And people were like, yo, that's not only sus, that is super, super dangerous. Like, you're telling somebody to crash a car at 150 miles per hour, like, that could kill them. And the guy, I don't know if the guy did it or if it was like, he just crashed because, like, something happened. But all I know is he got brought up on charges. He got banned from not only F1, but I think racing in general, like, in that entire circuit. And then, so, like, a couple years ago, got reinstated and is now the head of Alpine. Don't know how that works. I don't know what the FIA or F1 got going that they're like, yeah, let's bring this dude back. Like, don't know what judge he got, but they said, yeah, Carlos got a call from Flavio and he had to take it and just see what he has to offer. So Carlos just playing the field like what a whore does, and ended up stalling James Vows out for a couple minutes, and then at the end of the day signs with him regardless. He at the end he just signed with Williams, and he's now a Williams driver and everything like that. And that was the entire episode. That's what I'm saying. Boring. Everything. But all of these episodes, I'm getting a feeling is coming down to decision making. All these episodes are like, what's the decision for who's going to be the number one driver? Who's going to be the driver next year? Everything is about the decisions. Yeah, but this one was absolutely boring. I don't even think they mentioned a race in this one. Like, they mentioned how he has to, like, perform because basically every team is, like, looking out for him, but because all the big teams already chose like their seats, like the little teams actually are the ones that had to like go to him and be like, here's what we have to offer, because he's actually a really really good driver. So yeah, that was it. That's the wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed this sexy picture of this whore Carlos Sainz, and we'll see you next time.